Hello everyone, welcome to Nimar Bang podcast. I am Ritu Podar and today we are going to talk about a very important topic which is the asset allocation and this recent volatility which we have seen. Asset allocation actually become much more important for any kind of investors. Today we have Mr. Jitendra Shriram, Senior Fund Manager from Baroda BNP Paribas Asset Management Company. He is having more than 25 years kind of a experience and he worked with various organizations on a different role. Welcome to our podcast, Jitin. Just wanted to understand last 6 months what kind of a volatility we have seen. Does it reinforce, the asset allocation again? And what's your take on this?
First of all, thank you so much, Ritu, for having us on your show. And clearly, this is a great pleasure to interact with your clients here. So, coming to the point about, asset allocation as a broad theme is always very relevant in a sense that whether it be even at a simple equity portfolio level, we also have, when you break down stock return, you have the basic components of sector, which is allocation bias, selection bias, and then the residual part. Now, when you make the things more complex, you have a blend of debt, equity, real estate, various options available. Clearly, asset allocation is always very critical. And I would basically say there are two parts of asset allocation which work out. One is the strategic part, जो कि आप ये एक तरह से long range planning हुआ, जिसमें where you are planning that how an individual over his life cycle needs to probably have higher equity or higher debt if he's a little more aged person or something like that. And the second is more tactical. जो आप अभी आपने बात किया about volatility in markets. I think a lot of it has got to do with the tactical part of it. Because sometimes what can happen, markets might go through a lot of uncertainty, जैसे आपका global financial crisis हुआ या taper tantrum हुआ या COVID जैसा एक unfortunate event हो गया. You may need to suddenly reassess how you are allocating your assets, so it becomes very critical to take a call at that point of time. Likewise, there could be situations like today we have these whole mania about Trump tariffs world over. तो उसके वजह से there is a lot of uncertainty in the world. So one may need to reevaluate. See, there is a clear preference for people to have slightly more local facing sectors than global facing sectors. So to an extent, it calls for a re-evaluation of risk return trade-offs. So asset allocation by nature is important, but this is the tactical part of it, which sometimes becomes quite important to take a call on periodically whenever there are certain very uncertain events playing out, which is not seen in the immediate past.
Okay. So as you mentioned, asset allocation as a tactical part is very important. But most of the studies which we have seen in the past, like asset allocation actually, is a crucial part in terms of creating wealth. And there are most of the studies says like 90%, wealth, whatever you create comes from the asset allocation. So how do you see this?
So you're right in the point जो आपने कहा कि bulk of the returns comes from asset allocation, which is a very right thing. See, supposing what happens is selection of a fund से आपका ना जो return differential with something like a well-performing fund and a slightly inferior fund, आपका जो difference रहता है ना वो 200-250 basis point का रहेगा, which probably unless something is really badly run और हर cycle में अगर underperform कर रहा है तो ठीक है, वो थोड़ा compound करके over a period of time it can build up to something meaningful. But normally अगर over a certain phase it tends to recover and something gaps उसमें कम होता है. But अगर if you just imagine the same thing, that say around August of 2007 when US Fed raised its rates for the first time in response to the housing crisis in the US, one had taken a call of moving higher into, say, fixed income assets than equity at that point of time. The markets for that period within 24 months corrected by almost about 50% or 55%. So if you had moved more into fixed income, you could have saved a lot of capital burn apart from the headache of going through that whole process ki jab aapka price erode ho raha hai. So to an extent, asset allocation when either markets are too expensive or when there is a certain shift which is happening, उस टाइप पे बहुत मायने रखने लगता है. That actually plays out quite heavily in boosting your net total return over the period. So it does play a key role because selection में आपका जो differences है वो काफी small रहता है overall.
आज का मैक्रो देखते हो, व्हाट आर द की मैक्रो पैरामीटर्स और फैक्टर्स आई वुड से जो एसेट एलोकेशन स्ट्रैटेजीज को आपको रीबैलेंस करना या आपको एक कॉल लेना कि कौन सा एसेट एलोकेशन इज राइट एट दिस पॉइंट इन टाइम, व्हाट आर द की पैरामीटर्स यू लुक?
Sure. I think that's a very good question that you raised. See, because एक तो सबसे पहले आप इन्वेस्टर का ही सोचिए ना, तो इन्वेस्टर which is the core of your business, my business, everybody's business. See, the main point is that हर इन्वेस्टर का रिस्क टॉलरेंस अलग रहता है. So which you understand very well, which I also understand. So you first need to have a evaluation कि जिस आदमी के पास एक certain level of wealth already बन चुका है, उसका aversion to losses might be little low. So when he can ride equity का ship, because equity goes ups and downs, it has its cycles. So you will see that he has probably more propensity कि equity का risk लेने में उसकी ज़्यादा क्षमता है. Same way I would say that somebody who has very low tolerance to losses will find it far more attuned कि वो ज़्यादा करके fixed income में रहे या at most migrate a little bit more into the balanced offering if he wants to up his return profile a little. So to an extent वो एक cut हुआ आपका consumer की तरफ से. उसके अलावा there are certain other parameters also which play, which is like first of all age. So when you have a long horizon of investing, जैसे आपके पास 30-40 साल है, तो you know for a fact कि whatever be the cycles that come in between, I will be able to ride through them. मेरे को ये देखना है कि मेरे पास 25 साल बाद 30 साल बाद कितना एक कॉर्पस क्रिएट कर पाता हूँ या कर पाती हूँ. तो टू एन एक्सटेंट दैट will dictate how much you allocate towards equity, and typically that will mean a higher allocation towards equity. Whereas अगर आप virtually on the verge of retirement हैं और आपको मालूम है कि आपका regular income or salary income is going to drop and you need to rely more on your investments to generate income for you, your ability to take risk will be little lower. So अगर आपका age उस हिसाब से ज़्यादा है, so you might want to be more into fixed income products or balanced products for a little bit of equity sweetener, whereas rather than being too much into equity, which is a slightly more riskier asset. Same way, we are only talking of two assets. इसके अलावा आपके मतलब रियल एस्टेट हुआ एक ऑप्शन, या फिर आपके पास alternate investment funds, PMS, बहुत सारे और भी categories हैं which all have their individual risk return trade-offs. But one part is age, one part is regularity of income. Then it can come from an expense side also if you're planning for something. So like supposing a couple is looking at children's education as a big expense item at some point of time. They want to plan for that. They may want that in 10 years from now, we want a certain corpus so as to fund college education, because all these things are getting more expensive over time. So इन सब चीज़ों के लिए भी जो planning process है, so whether there is one which is a core for the couple itself, how they want to plan their retirement. Second is also for a expense level that they are expecting or anticipating in a certain time frame. तो उसके लिए जो प्लानिंग है वो थोड़ी अलग हो सकती है than what is it, because you might say that you may want create a certain corpus over this period of time. So these are the strategic things which will play out on the asset allocation. So large factors which determine this is leap factors which come in.
Correct. तो आपने बात करी रिस्क एपेटाइट. तो रिस्क एपेटाइट मोस्टली जब हम एसेट एलोकेशन करते हैं तो रिस्क एपेटाइट इज वन इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर वी कंसीडर कि व्हाट इज द रिस्क एपेटाइट ऑफ द इन्वेस्टर्स. डू यू थिंक रिस्क appetite is a static in terms of nature if we talk about the investors, or it's a very dynamic thing?
It may not change day to day. तो एक तरह से थोड़ा स्टेबिलिटी रहता है इसमें, but I do feel that an investor should definitely peek into his portfolio and have a review of it at least every 5 years. Because अगर आपकी उम्र 30 साल है और आप एक certain equity debt allocation पे चल रहे हो, it need not be the same when you're 40. It might undergo a little bit of change because lot of things might have changed. Your salary levels would have changed. Your savings levels would have changed. समटाइम्स हम लोग एक तरह से एक रूल ऑफ थंब के हिसाब से बोल देंगे एज बढ़ रहा है तो मूव फ्रॉम इक्विटी टू फिक्स्ड इनकम, या ऐसा एक नॉर्मल एक थंब रूल होता है. बट सपोजिंग योर सेविंग्स आर इनफ टू मीट योर रिक्वायरमेंट्स, you might say that I want more risk now because I can afford to take that risk now. So you may want to say I want more equity now because I want to enhance my return. तो वो individual के particular financials पे भी निर्भर होता है. See, the other part we covered in very short manner the tactical part of it. Now, tactical reviews could be more frequent because there are certain other things that influence it also. जैसे आपने एक हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया है, ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस हुआ है, ट्रम्प टैरिफ्स हुए, इन सब में कुछ आपको एक रीएलोकेशन की जरूरत पड़ सकती है. द अदर पार्ट कुड बी लाइक इफ देयर इज अ ओवर वैल्यूएशन इन मार्केट्स बिकॉज ऑफ टू मच यूफोरिया, तो उसकी वजह से भी आपको रीवैल्यूएट करना पड़ सकता है. सेकेंड कुड ऑल्सो बी अ फैक्टर लाइक टैक्स एफिशिएंसी कुड बी अ फैक्टर. आज आप सैलरी कमा रहे हैं, आपके पास इनफ टैक्सेशन, मतलब यू डोंट वांट टू हैव, यू डोंट फील द नीड टू पे एडिशनल टैक्सेस. यू मे वांट products which will defer your taxation to a later point of time when your tax incidence will be lower. So you might want to stay put in something which gives you that long term window कि मेरे को आज के आज वो टैक्स नहीं भरना because that is a leakage to your savings. So that can also be another big tactical factor. जैसे आप एक NPS वाला जो प्रोडक्ट है आप वो देखते हैं, जैसे इट्स अ टैक्स डिफरल ऑप्शन.
राइट. सो यहाँ पर आपने जो बात करी, वेरी फ्यू इंस्टेंसेस वेयर वी कैन लुक फॉर रीएलोकेशन काइंड ऑफ सिनेरियोज. बिहेवियर इज वन ऑफ द थिंग विच एक्चुअली इम्पैक्ट्स, और बिकॉज हम सोचते हैं ठीक है हम 30 साल या 25 साल के लिए इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, बट ऐसा कोई भी इन्वेस्टर नहीं होता है जो आंख बंद करके और वो 25 साल तक होल्ड करता है अपना कैपिटलाइजेशन. सो बिहेवियर लाइक अभी लास्ट 6 मंथ जो हम देख रहे हैं, वॉलेटिलिटी, डिफरेंट फैक्टर्स आर देयर इन द मार्केट. बिहेवियर कैसे इम्पैक्ट करता है एंड हाउ इन्वेस्टर्स कैन स्टे अवे फ्रॉम दैट काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग.
सी ये आपने बिल्कुल सही नर्व्स पकड़ी कि मतलब जो द प्रेशर टू डू समथिंग इज ऑलवेज वेरी हाई. बट इसमें ना एक आई वुड ब्रॉडली से दैट इसमें ना एक ये होना चाहिए कि एक आपका जो कोर स्ट्रैटेजी है वो लगभग 80% के आसपास होना चाहिए कि मेरे लॉन्ग टर्म गोल्स और एम्स क्या हैं और उसके हिसाब से मेरे को क्या एसेट एलोकेशन. दूसरा जो है ऑन टैक्टिकल थिंग विच शुड बी लेस 20% और लेसर ऑफ द कॉर्पस, दैट यू कैन टेक अ मोर डायनेमिक अप्रोच.
ओके. सो यहाँ पर एज यू सेड, एज इन व्हेन गोल्स कम्स क्लोजर, आप जैसे जैसे अपने गोल के पास आते हो प्रोबेबली आपको रिजिक पोर्टफोलियो रिजिक का जरूरत पड़ता है. And in within a mutual fund space, we have seen that a hybrid is one of the category, which is a mix of your equity and debt and even commodities also. So how do you see that particular category? Because of late we have seen that category actually got very good flows.
Sure.
And do you believe like that one fund is fit for all kind of a product for all the investors?
So it is a very interesting point you raise. See, इसमें ना basic, I would say the basic logic for this product. Let us step back and look at the basic logic. एक बैलेंस एडवांटेज जैसा जो प्रोडक्ट है उसका ना बेसिक जो ब्यूटी है वो इस चीज़ में है कि मुझे एज एन इन्वेस्टर अपना शफल नहीं करना पड़ता. बिकॉज सी ईच टाइम आई सेल अ फंड यूनिट और समथिंग आई इंकर अ टैक्स लीकेज. Till such point of time that I am holding, the fund is doing the shuffling, I don't incur that leakage. So my wealth builds up because of the fact that I'm not suffering any tax leaks. So ये है basic logic product का. Now how it works is in a balanced product, like for example, like even the one we run or something like that, the basic thing that we do is कि अगर हम लोग 3-4 फैक्टर्स देखते हैं, लाइक PE देखते हैं, PB ऑफ द मार्केट देखते हैं, लाइक अर्निंग्स यील्ड गैप देखते हैं. So sometimes when we find equity markets are relatively more expensive, we will trim down the equity exposures, and on the contrary, when it is looking more attractive, we will raise equity. So fund itself is making the decision for you. So आपका जो डायनेमिक पार्ट मैंने जो बोला वो 15-20% जो आपको रखना चाहिए, that actually that balanced category can actually serve very well because it is itself moving that product according to market moves. So when we think that there is a certain amount of need to be higher into fixed income or higher into equity at an alternate point of time, वो फंड खुद ही कर रहा है वो, और आपको उसमें टैक्स लीकेज लेने की जरूरत नहीं. सो दैट फिल्स एन इम्पॉर्टेंट product gap for the customer in that regard. So that is one part. So in the same way, there is also the other thing कि normally आप देखेंगे तो इंडिया में largely on the at a retail level, you don't have too many dollar asset options available. So like a multi-asset category is something that gives you that same flexibility with a commodity which is traded freely the world over, which is gold. और हर जगह एक ही भाव पे चलता है वो, मतलब you wherever you take it you will fetch the same price of that gold. So it is a slightly different way of looking at a hybrid product, basically giving you some kind of risk mitigation through gold. क्योंकि एक होता है आपका volatility in equity, एक होता है volatility in fixed income, एक हुआ volatility in currency. उससे कौन बचाएगा आपको? तो करेंसी से बचाने के लिए there is one repository of value which is gold. So to an extent, gold acts as that repository, and that way a multi-asset also has a role to play in that.
So from here on, if we see this particular category, hybrid category, or I mean within hybrid also balance advantage and multi-asset, these two products, what investor can expect from these two categories? I mean, because gold as an asset, we are seeing it's touched almost 1 lakh price. So do they can make a good money, or what kind of a returns they can expect from these products?
So let me start with the gold question. See, gold में ना दो चीजें हो रही हैं. So you are right. एक लाख रुपए का भाव रहेगा तो आपका consumer demand is going to be a little soft, because अगर इतना भाव, कोई भी चीज का भाव ऊपर बढ़ता है तो उसका consumer demand has to come off. So वो थोड़ा सा टिल इट कंसोलिडेट्स, थोड़ा सा उसमें टाइम स्पेंड करे उस भाव पे, वो इतना जल्दी डिमांड रिकवरी नहीं आएगा. बट व्हाट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली हैपनिंग इन गोल्ड इज द सेंट्रल बैंक बाइंग. क्योंकि जैसे चाइना का सेंट्रल बैंक हुआ, इंडिया खुद का सेंट्रल बैंक हुआ, या फिर टर्की का बैंक हुआ, रशियन बैंक हुआ, दे हैव ऑल बीन एडिंग टू गोल्ड बिकॉज देयर इज अगर आप ऐसा सोचिए कि एक समय में ये सब सेंट्रल बैंक्स यूज्ड टू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ यूएस ट्रेजरीज इन देयर होल्डिंग. नाउ इंक्रीमेंटली अगर ये टैरिफ्स की वजह से यू आर सीइंग दैट आपका ट्रेड बैलेंस विद यूएस इज गोइंग टू डिप अ लिटिल, तो द नीड फॉर होल्डिंग सो मेनी यूएस डॉलर्स इज लिटिल लेसर देन व्हाट इट वाज बिफोर. सो इफ आई नीड टू डाइवर्सिफाई, gold becomes a natural option. So the buying from central banks is quite high in gold. So मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगता है कि गोल्ड में बहुत मीनिंगफुल करेक्शन आएगा. हाँ, ये हो सकता है कि एक बार आपका 2500 से 3000 तक बहुत रैपिडली मूव है, थोड़ा समय यहाँ बिताए, थोड़ा एक आध साल फ्लैट भी हो सकता है, वो भी हो सकता है, बट दैट आई थिंक इज द थिंग. बट गोल्ड, आई थिंक द ब्यूटी ऑफ गोल्ड इज दैट इट इज अ हेज अगेंस्ट करेंसी. कल को रुपी फॉर वॉट एवर रीजन, सपोजिंग इट गोज टू 90, 95 ऑल्सो, योर डॉलर रिटर्न्स इन गोल्ड विल इंश्योर कि आपका रुपी रिटर्न्स बहुत उसमें काफी मीनिंगफुल हो जाएगा तब. सो टू एन एक्सटेंट गोल्ड इज अ हेज अगेंस्ट करेंसी. दैट्स व्हाई आई सेड आपका इक्विटी हुआ, डेट हुआ, करेंसी से कौन बैठाता है आपको? तो दिस इज अ डॉलराइज्ड एसेट टू दैट एक्सटेंट. So I would say that broadly you should use a rule of thumb that normally I would say long-term return on equity is about 200-300 basis points above nominal GDP. So 13-14% आप पकड़ के चलिए. उसमें अगर आप थोड़ा बहुत सेक्टोरल थीम्स या स्मॉल कैप वगैरह लेंगे तो उसमें थोड़ा बहुत ऐड हो जाता है वो, बट आई वुड से दैट इज अ ब्रॉड नंबर टू गो विद. Same way, I would say fixed income, if you look at it on an average, it is about 7.5%. You can multiply the weightages which each product carries and you will get your average return. Traditionally, gold has been somewhere where it has averaged about, say, 4-5% तो रुपी डेप्रिसिएशन टू डॉलर सालाना हुआ ही है, और उसके अलावा गोल्ड का नेचुरल जो ग्रोथ हुआ है लॉन्ग टर्म में, which has been about 2% in dollar terms. So that's where I would put it. And कमिंग टू बैलेंस प्रोडक्ट, सी उसमें एक और जो लीवर है वो एसेट एलोकेशन का जो हम लोग बात कर रहे थे, इट एक्चुअली रिफ्लेक्ट्स दैट, बिकॉज द वे टू थिंक अबाउट दैट प्रोडक्ट इज दैट यू आर गेटिंग इक्विटी लाइक रिटर्न्स विद अ लोअर लेवल ऑफ रिस्क. सो इफ आई लुक एट अ लॉन्ग टर्म balanced product return versus say even a large cap product, return difference maybe there is a gap of about 100-150 basis points, but the average level of equity which is there in a balanced product is barely about 70-73%. तो आप 3/4 रिस्क में आप 150 बेसिस पॉइंट से खो रहे हैं, तो आपका एसेट एलोकेशन का फायदा वहां हो रहा है. सो इन market falls, it actually delivers superior returns to equity.
So as you correctly mentioned, asset allocation, equity, debt, and your commodity. So all, asset classes are helping you to grow even in the volatile market. It helps you to protect as well. So my last question to you, from the client's perspective, what do you suggest them, or what kind of a allocation they can keep in as a part of their core portfolio? Like, अगर हम hybrid products का बात करते हैं, so what kind of a allocation they can keep it in their core?
Sure. So it is little more difficult to answer that only because I don't know the risk return profile of the investors and all that. But broadly, I would say that, if risk tolerance is reasonably high, then they could look at, products like aggressive hybrid, balanced advantage, because all these products will have, 65+% plus average equity allocation. Whereas if you are slightly more risk averse, or you are at an age where you don't want to take too much risk, तो आपको ज़्यादा एक conservative hybrid या those kind of products make more sense, because then आपका equity allocation will be more like 30-35%. So to an extent, it suits your risk return profile. So I think the starting point has to be that risk return trade-off matrix जो लोगों का रहेगा.
Okay. Thank you, Jitendra. Thank you for giving us insights on the asset allocation and the different products available in the market.
Thank you so much. And thanks to all your clients as well for having me on the show. Thank you.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to never miss an update from Nirmal Bang.